guys, Mitchell here, Mitchell, Minnesota. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. It has been a few minutes since I have taken the time to come and chit chat with you guys. And for that, I am sorry. I have received a lot of really beautiful, kind messages on my Instagram, on my email over the last few months. And obviously I'm not dead, thank goodness. I am thriving comparatively, and I'm very lucky to be here. But I just wanted to check in to say that I am back, I guess, in using this platform as something that is super meaningful to me. Sorry, my desk is shaking. This is new again to me. It's like, I'm gonna try to do this all in one take, and I'm gonna talk super randomly about things only because that's just how I want to do it today. And I hope that you're okay with it, because if you've been with me over the last couple years, you'll know my editing style is shit. But that's okay. I just kind of wanted to bring you up to date with a few things that have gone on in the last like 6 or 7 months. And then if those are of interest to you because they are outside of bariatrics, I would love to do a video on them if those are interesting to you. But first of all, of course, I want to talk about bariatrics and weight, and we're all in this isolation. As a teacher, I have not been in the classroom or with kiddos since, I believe, March 16th of 2020. And it is today the 9th of January, 2021. I am in Minnesota, obviously, and the governor, Tim Walz, has been quite good about making sure that distance learning has been a productive and quite a good experience, as good of an experience as possible. I know many of you, most of you here are parents, and I'm so thankful for our parents, because I work with little itty bitty kiddos, little guys. It's a different world than the classroom experience. So I'm very thankful, very lucky, very blessed to have what I have, and the kindness that I get from our families is something that I'm just so lucky to have. We work with a lot of families who are essential workers and who are kicking butt by doing what they have to do for their families. And it's been neat for me because I have been able to, I'm at home, I get to work from home. So while my hours are my hours, I'm lucky enough and more than happy and more than willing to go before or after hours for my families. And that's not a brag. That is if you're wanting to support your child, then I want to do what I can do too. So there's that piece of it. So all of that to say, what happens when I go from going all around the city, in and out of houses all day long, to a very sedentary lifestyle? Gain, at least for me. Seeing some of your beautiful videos, as my computer just goes the way of the dodo here, as what does that mean, right? At least for me, I lose the motivation. Prior to the pandemic starting, I went from getting up at 4. I had worked myself into, thanks to the kindness, love, and motivation of Little Kansas Kitty and Jessica Cakes and all of you, VSG Joe, all of you guys who I just missed terribly. I getting up comfortably at 4 a.m., walking, eating more or less within my range, just feeling super successful, to like still getting up. And to this day, like, my sleep routine, thank God, is good. Eating has been a challenge across this entire thing. And for me, And I say this because I don't know if anybody, this is going to sound cliche, but I don't know if anybody needs to hear this right now. This is deeper than my, um, this is deeper than the pandemic. And I have since sought therapy for my eating. And this is something that was always on my mind and always something that I was like, maybe this will help. But for many, many people, and I don't speak for everybody, of course, I speak for myself, eating is personal enough that it becomes a triggering thing in many different ways. And it may not make sense even to myself, but it becomes that. And all that to say, this time last year, so post-Christmas, right at the beginning of the year, I had gotten down to 197. So I was in Wonderland and I'm like, this is amazing. And then I started to gain right as the pandemic came. And from March until like July, I was up to like 225. And there's a panic in that. And I'm not here to justify it. I'm explaining it. There was a laziness in my lack of movement. There was a lack of caring, all while understanding that I am incredibly lucky and blessed to be able to continue to receive a paycheck and pay our bills and be safe, and to be an introvert to begin with. I have everything. I feel I am in that very lucky percent. So there was a guilt too. So it's like, why are you gaining weight? What? And then it's like all the gains that you make go away so fast. It is so much easier to gain weight than it is to lose it. So I sought therapy and actually changed offices. I started talking with and I'm not, they're fabulous, but I felt like the help that I needed was more than what I was able to get across to my team. So I went to the other the biggest group in our area, and I'm very thankful for my team, and something that I think is kind of taboo in the weight loss community, especially after RNY. And for those of you that are new, I had lap band to RNY gastric bypass on August 7th, 2018, which was my 30th birthday. Started out, oh God, I don't even know my starting weight. I was big, very, very large. I'm about 100 pounds. I'm somewhere between 75 and 80, maybe 90-ish pounds down, but with conversion comes a slight, no, not even a slight, it's difficult you're not going to get the same results. And I wasn't told that. And while while I'm glad that I would have still done this surgery because it saved my life, both emotionally and physically, I'm mad that I was not told, and I'm frustrated. But because this is a disease, and while working in cognitive behavioral therapy with my psychologist, and then also with my weight loss, I have a weight loss primary physician, and she specializes just in this. I do take Topiramate or Topamax, or whatever you want to call it. It goes by a bunch of different names, and I know that that's very controversial in our community, and that's okay. What I learned though is, and it's so neat because Minnesota has the Mayo Clinic, which works with my clinic, which has some of the most recent research for weight loss. And take this as you will. I'm not a doctor, obviously, and if I was, I would not be a good one. Is that because this is a disease, this is only as we well know, our surgery is just a tool. It is a major part. It is big tool, but we use other, there's other facets of it. And success is measured in multiple layers. And for myself, I'm right now a 3-layer. I use therapy, I use topiramate. I am at 200 milligrams a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. And what it does for me, because of my malabsorption, is I get, a good feel of it. And all it does for me, I say all, but the effect of it for me is to make those choices better, because I didn't, and I always said I was jealous. If you remember my past videos, I didn't feel really full a lot of the time, and nor did I have that like not hungry feeling. And in my head, I remember thinking, these jagoffs, how dare I not get that, and that's sucky, but that's life. My insurance paid for my surgery, all but $2,700 of it. So also, that's a privilege that I had. So I keep my mouth shut there, and I have support through my team. So in looking forward, like, this is more of a long-term part of the pie here, and I am, as of today, back down to 201 right now. And that is going through the holidays, being at home, working from my desk. So getting up and walking and moving and finding that motivation, which I'm incredibly proud of myself. And I'm sure you all will be too, because you wouldn't be here if you hated this content. So I am proud of myself, and that is not a dirty little secret. I am more than happy to do a more in-depth video about how this looked, and what that process looked like, because it is a struggle. The struggle bus is there. It is hard. We are all different, but we all have the same struggles. So if that makes sense, like, the end result is the same. We were all at that point where we hated our bodies, and years of hating the way you look and the way you feel, and those aches and pains in your hips or your stomach, because you can feel it tugging on you, and the way that society looks at you when you are at your heaviest is, I'm still mad about that. I'm just so mad about that. And the more weight I have off my person, the more movable I am, and the more energy I can put towards other things. Moving, when I carry groceries up the stairs, I'm like, oh, this is what it was like. And a fun tidbit, anytime I lose 20 pounds, and I keep going up and down and up and down, anytime that happens, 20 or 50 pounds, we donate that much worth of food or items to our local no-kill shelter, for the animals. And I am a nerd, and I can't go into those places without either adopting or bawling my eyes out because I can't adopt. So we go and get them, and then like we'll go into the office, and then my husband has to like bring it in because I can't walk past it. So that's my own thing. So that's kind of the weight loss thing there. Please put any questions down there. Email me, micheleminnesota@gmail.com, and I'd love to make videos on it, like this week, and start the game all over again. The next thing to talk about too, kind of in conjunction with that, and this is, you guys, been going on the background for a while, is I'm 32 as of August 2020, right before my 31st birthday. Right after my 31st birthday, I got a diagnosis of ADHD and obsessive compulsive disorder. And I'm sure if you look back at my videos, you've seen small twitches, and I'm a little tired today, so there's little eye twitches today anyway, but that's just what it is. But I didn't know that there were two types of ADHD. There is the very excited, have to be moving all the type, woo, rah, rah, rah. And then there is my type of ADHD called inattentive type. which I lovingly call the tired, lazy one. And it's not that my entire life I've attempted to be lazy, because that's not what it is. It is very much getting stuck on a pebble. Um, your brain becomes tired trying to answer a question, trying to figure something out, and you just your gears go into overdrive. It's like putting your car into park and just putting your foot on the gas. Like, it's gonna burn out so fast. So, and this all became the summer of 2019, early summer. My entire life I've been flighty, or like forgetful, kind of in the clouds, that's people just, oh, that's just him, and my husband has noticed that from like 25 to 30, like progressively worse, to the point that I was like, I need to do I have the earliest onset of Alzheimer's? Like, I was legitimately scared that I had started to decline in my cognitive ability, just because I had to have trackers on my keys because I couldn't remember where I put things. But at the same time, I know where I put things if they're in the most randomized place ever. And so that has helped an incredible amount as well. Starting on, I have Adderall for my ADHD, which has been a normalizer. Wow. As well as for obsessive compulsive disorder, which would be a whole video in and of itself. And again, I'm happy to make one of them. Right now I take Effexor, or venlafaxine, which, in order to work with obsessive compulsive disorder from the medication side, oftentimes they use antidepressants, not for depression, but for the pulling back of compulsions, whatever those compulsions may be. So there's that piece of it too, right? So all this is going on too. And then the third piece, which is actually fun, right, is I got Invisalign. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see the little things on my teeth. My teeth have always been a concern of mine, and they, like this, I call it my jank tooth, but it's very rotated, and it was always very rotated. And I said, in like February of last year, so it's been almost a year I've been looking at it. I want to do this, and I had to get a couple things done, about $2,000 worth of work done, because of in different parts, when you have stuff was squished together in the back. So there were certain areas that I had to get a crown. I had to do a couple different things, right? So in the summer, I was able to get all of that done. And then and then the world shut down. So then they weren't doing anything. I shopped around for an orthodontist, and I went in the town over. I found a female-owned orthodontist, and which, yes, I specifically wanted a female orthodontist who was empowered to have a female staff and who was LGBT friendly. I have a list of things that I like to put money into, especially when my dental doesn't cover it because I'm an adult, which, oh man. And because of the severity of my rotation and kind of what we're going to do in the long term, it's about $7,000, which, wow, it's a lot, but it's worth it. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I want to invest in myself, and I don't like not wanting to smile or having to smile from the side or anything like that. And I will be doing an Invisalign video here very soon, because I didn't know about attachments, these little notches. You see those? They're like on all my teeth. So I remember joking with my orthodontist, being like, so these are just braces, right? But the trays are, there's quite a bit of discomfort, but it's like that means that the money's being paid for, or that means the money that I'm paying is used for good. And that I am all about. And I change out weekly. These things are in 23 hours a day, which also I think contributes to eating less as well. So there's something to be said for that, because you don't want to stain these. Oh, and it's, pulling them out, putting them back in, excuse me, are a pill. But these are a lot of interesting experiences all wrapped in one. And what a time to get them, because nobody in public has seen these suckers at all whatsoever because of wearing masks. So those are kind of the three major main things that are going on, that have gone on, just either in the background or since I've talked to you wonderful, beautiful people last time. We are, if I may bring the room down for a moment, we live in a very different world right now. We are living in a world where white violence has taken over. It's always been here. This is me talking as me, just as Mitchell. In the early summer when George Floyd was killed, he was killed across the street from the school that I work from, in my community. And in part of the reflection, things that our Black and brown communities have gone through forever, it's always been under my nose, and I and my community, my white community, we've chosen to push it off or ignore it. Whether consciously or subconsciously, the result was still the same. So continuing to be loud and continuing to engage with other folks who look like me and are racist or are doing, saying, being, and acting in ways that are not okay and not going to work for us, our society, that is something that I have taken on. And I don't like confrontation, and I have always been like, nope, that is not, we don't do that anymore, because it is exhausting to do that, right? But so if it's exhausting for me as a 6 foot tall cisgender white male, how exhausting is it for a person of color who has gone through this for hundreds of years, systemically? The system is working fine because it benefits a certain category. And then we have our capital being attacked, and all of these things happening in the last, few years. And I know that our country can do good things. We have the opportunity to do great things because we have an incredible amount of kindness and love and compassion. And two things can be true, right? Kindness and compassion can be there, but to sweep anything under the rug or forgive and forget is not an option, in my opinion. We cannot let things go without addressing them and disallowing things to move on. So that is an odd way to end, I know, but I just want you to know that whoever you are out there, you are loved by me. And if nobody told you today that you were loved, that you were kind, that you were beautiful, that you were important, then I am here to tell you that. And if I wasn't on here yesterday, it was still true. I hope you're all doing amazing. And let me know what you would like to hear about. And other than that, I will put in a little video of a body shot after this. I'll see you soon. Hi guys, so welcome to my bathroom. Enjoy the mess, but I wanted to get a really, random space to do the body shot in, and also it's a weird angle, I apologize, but This is me at 201 pounds, but I wanted to show you kind of what that looks like from all angles, just kind of the full round. And I'm lucky that I don't have a lot of like gobble, you know. And I'm about 6 feet tall, and I don't have a lot of like tummy at this point. A little bit, but you know, we're working on it. But there's that. I hope that gave us a little perspective.